Welcome to Selling Seven Figures Top Performers Tell All, hosted by Kevin Mullaney. Each month, we're diving deep to uncover the secrets of selling big, closing smart, and hitting your highest goals. One guest, one mission. Let's make more money. Ready? Let's go. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Selling Seven Figures. I am your all-American host, Kevin Mullaney, and I am joined by one of the illest in the game, one of my longtime friends, Brian Gill from Thumbprint. Give it up, everybody. Welcome, Brian.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
I'm so excited to catch up, brother. How's everything going? How is
there we go. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Oh, we're on theme. We're on brand and never missing a beat. So for a little bit of backstory, how Brian and I got together, I believe it was the 2018 SKUCon, and I got to meet Brian and his amazing team. Thanks, shout out to Catherine and Mark Graham for that amazing conference. And we've connected. I mean, I'm not even going to use the brothers from another mother's because the brain is the same. I think that's more it. So with all that being said, Brian, we ask everyone the same way that we do. How'd you get into this crazy industry, brother?
Yeah, well, you've probably heard this answer before. I didn't have much of a choice, born into it, right? So 30 years ago, my father started a company called Performance Press. So that was, we were a print distributor back then. And so I kind of came from a different angle. So I came with a print knowledge and print background. And then, you know, he was smart enough to realize that I needed to know every aspect of the business, right? So I worked in a warehouse. I was a delivery driver, CSR, you know, what everyone called him back then. Then I started building websites. Shout out to Eric Granada for training. Yeah, Eric Granada.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Early name drop.
Yeah.
The smartest man in the industry.
Yeah.
Nice.
Listen, I mean, I could show you some of the sites I built. We don't have those clients anymore. No, so I was very fortunate to grow up in this and to watch my father and see the way he treated people and treated clients. And yeah, man, I didn't really have much of a choice. Thanks, you know, here we are, you know, a long time later. So
that's awesome. How did you get connected with Eric? Out of curiosity, I met him through. I think it was actually the same event. I met him at the same event he was speaking at, and blown away by his intellect and his skill set.
Well, the interesting thing is Bobby Lehue this is Robin Promo years ago. So Bobby was the president. We were selling a lot of print. They were selling a lot of promo. So my father flew to Oklahoma City, trained Robin on how to sell print. Bobby came to Orlando and taught us the promo business, which we didn't know anything about. And then meanwhile, Eric and I were just I would call him and ask him how to build business card templates and build storefronts. And, so, you know, a long time ago, I guess I was an early adopter of storefronts and where technology was going and data. So it's been a fun journey, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're going to jump in a lot of your creativity, a lot of the things tech-wise that you have done that I've always been so impressed with that I can never wrap my gray hair around. So that's awesome. But I do always like to think about, you know, for me, I mean, I change my thoughts about what I want to do when I grow up so often. And again, still kind of thinking about it. The grass is always greener on the other side. If you didn't go the Thumbprint, if you didn't follow in your father's footsteps, what are some of the career choices, or what are some things that you've seen some of your friends that you grew up same age that they went and did, and you're like, man, I probably could have crushed that too?
You know, that's a really good question. I think my dream job, if I could do anything other than sales, if tomorrow Tom decided I was no longer a decent sales rep and couldn't lead a team, I really want to be a GM. I mean, you're a Jets fan, right? So you know the importance of a general manager, a good and bad general manager, right? So, man, I like to build. That's the one thing. I love to build things, and I would love to build a roster. I'd love to build a team. So something in the sports world. I would have found a way to become. I look at Eric Spoelstra's journey with the Heat, if you've ever seen that, and
from videotape, cutting tape.
He's been there almost 30 years now with that team, and so
Now he's going to be the head coach of the United States of America basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the best coach in NBA at this point. Now that pops out, but I would probably just go. You know what? I'm going to chase something that is a passion and just give it a shot. So I think that's what I would do. In terms of things friends have done, I don't know, man. I'm just like I said, I would want to start something. I want to build something and build it with people that I care about. So.
It's so funny because I think one of the last times you and I connected as I was getting outside of the industry, you were talking about the Avengers. And I'll always remember this conversation. You were like, Mullaney, what I'm doing in, I'm trying to bring all these superheroes together. And I'm trying to build this team that could take out Thanos and just be unbeatable. But they can't all be the same. They can't all have their own skill set. So that makes me think that, you've got that GM brain. And it's not just about getting all the best talent, right? The strongest, the best salespeople, right? You got to have the best customer service. You got to have the best web team. You got to have the best fulfillment team. You're absolutely right. You got to have their aces in their places.
You got to have role players. Like the role players, man. It's like everyone chases superstars, but the role players are really, I think, the difference between great rosters and mediocre rosters, right? So it's like, I think you're seeing that in sports. The days of super teams are a little bit behind us, right? It's like, how do we get the most out of every individual? So, as you know, you were in Captain America. You do know that, right? So obviously,
I did say.
You know, you were Captain America in that roster, just so you know.
I appreciate that. You are spot on. You're seeing that with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is an NBA podcast, Ryan Russillo. But we're talking hoops right now. But it's exactly right. You've got to have because in this positionless basketball right now, and you know this, everyone is asked to wear a lot of different hats a lot of times, at least early on in their stages in their careers. Everyone, they want that person that can do everything when that's not necessarily what you need, right? Like Ray Allen can obviously fill it up from anywhere on a basketball court, maybe not the best defensive player, but he was known for being a spot-up shooter, right? And again,
it applies to sales, right? The sales reps are the scorers. We're the ones averaging 35 a game. But it takes the guy that sets the pick, right? Like it takes all of those players. Sales is sometimes it gets misconstrued as an individual sport, but it is far from it, right? So.
There's no sys leader in sales. I will say that. You're absolutely right. Now, with that being said, question for you. You obviously wore a ton of different hats as you jumped into the Thumbprint realm. What stuck out about sales that attracted you? And in my opinion, my apologies. In your opinion, what about sales?
We'll get your opinion in a minute, Kevin, because I want to know that. So your opinion, I think there's no destination. It never ends. You never get there, right? And my top client is someone else's top prospect, probably multiple people's top prospect. So I'm being chased. And I never get there, and I'm being chased every single day, right? And then your top contact leaves, and you build another relationship, and you're being chased there. And now they're bringing in their relationships, and you've got to prove yourself. It's just it's a rat race. It's a very rewarding rat race. The thing I love about it is there is a scoreboard growing up in sports. I want to know if I'm winning. There is a scoreboard. I love people, right? So we're in, sales is a people business. But it's exhausting. It's not for everyone. You get told no over and over and over again. And I looked at, I was looking over some of the accounts that we were starting to onboard towards the end of this Q4 and what I'm excited and grateful for 2026. And a lot of these brand names, they started on my radar a year ago, 2 years ago. And it's just, there's no overnight success in sales, which is rewarding, but challenging, as you know. So,
the old African proverb, right? Every morning a lion and gazelle wake up, right? They're all looking for food. But either way, you better wake up running.
Well,
right?
think about it. Think about it. You and I had this, right? My top buyer, we can say this, right? We can name clients, right?
I don't know. A client to we cannot name, but that's a great
one. All right. So we shared a client, right? We both had a mutual client, and my buyer one day texted me a photo standing beside you, right, from your old place of work. And, I think that's awesome. It's like, how cool is this that you and I are friends? We both have this shared, client connection, but it also is a reminder of, hey, dude, I got to be on my game because I like you, Kevin, but I'm also
Yeah.
competing against you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think competition brings out the best in all of us. And, but you know, that was, when I got that photo that day, it was really interesting. I was like, man, that's the great reminder right there that, man, it never stops.
Yeah, it was a great reminder indeed. And I think the best thing is that we both handled it the same way, which I love about this community as most people do. Right. So again, hard to kind of put it all into words, but like, it was just a mutual respect. It was like the Captain Yankees gift. It was like, all right, wait, I better come in sharp. I better come in creative. And then the other thing is, and no knock to my own company or my own skill set, but I know you've got a couple lasers in your spaceship that I just don't even know exist, right? So that was fun too, but it was really cool for him. I think the best part about it is I think it was a compliment to each other because he noticed the hustle, he noticed the game. He was like, look, it's not who I like more, right? Like I can't even win on that. This is now bid, and it's not because this is the way we do business. It's just I like these guys both. They're both bringing the heat. They're both bringing the energy, and they're both making my job easier. Yeah. So eventually it's going to come down to product and price, which is it's kind of rare, I guess, would be the point of saying.
And I think it was validating for that individual because he's like, all right, the fact that we are in each other's orbit, he's like, all right, I'm in a good, like, I think he felt really good knowing I got good people, right, to support me regardless.
Yeah, if either one of us lost that bid or that project, we would be going, we'd be kicking our can down the road, just trying to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
No, that's really, really funny. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other things that I wanted to escalate on there that I'm totally lost because I'm short-winded. But I think the biggest thing that I always think about is like, again, we just talked about families. You're about to go on a Disney cruise. I just left Disney. I think the hardest part about sales is we care so much. We put so much into it. You're obviously a small business owner. And it's just like the problem is that like when you go into that greater place and you look at what's on your headstone, no one's going to give a rip about what you did in Thumbprint. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, very.
So it's like we put in all this time, all this stress. I need this. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if we get this client, like it'll be so easy. And the reality of it is nothing matters because the only thing that matters are those two beautiful boys and that beautiful wife you have at home, right?
Yeah. And it's hard, man, being present and, being a parent. I have failed at it so many times. And, I've watched so many videos I see on Instagram and you see the stories of like these kids and them looking at you and you're looking down at your phone, and I can't remember who it was the other day. There was, I think it was the kid from Breaking Bad. What was Jesse? Yeah. And Jesse, I think, was telling a story about how he's like, dude, I'm never going to be on my phone when I'm home. And he was just talking about the heartbreak that a child, has and our wives too. Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I look back at this, like I wasn't successful until Jen, like, having that wife, having that stability who supported me and allowed me to do what I do and to go all in like you do. I mean, we go all in and we're talking about merch. Like this is not open heart surgery, but we treat it like we are. We're on call like we're doctors. We panic over a UPS plane that didn't leave Louisville because of an ice storm. Like and I lose sleep over it. And it's something I've had to be a lot more intentional about. And I think the other thing too is the more you become a friend and a parent and a husband and a father to your clients, you don't have that. This is my work life. This is my personal life. To my clients, 3-day trips are now 24 hours. They want me to get in, have the QBR, and they get home to my family. Like they want that for me. That is a beautiful feeling, dude.
That is beautiful. That's really great. I think the one thing that I try to think about literally kind of dawned on me this week because I knew I was going to be talking to a family man, but my wife just started working again this week, which means roles, responsibilities, everything's changing now, right? And my goal right now is to speed things up when I'm at work and slow things down when I'm at home. And I don't know why, again, I'm not saying that's the revelation. I'm not going to write a book, right? Mel Robbins, I think your seat at the top 10 of the bestsellers is safe for now.
Yeah. For now.
But man, like, I'm just like, dude, like everything matters here and nothing matters there. And again, you know what I mean when I say nothing matters, right? It doesn't mean we're not jumping in. Doesn't mean we're not giving it our all. But like I do feel like at times I'm putting in more effort at work than I'm putting in at home, if that's safe to say. Like, I'll coast with my kids when I'm watching a movie or just say, hey, let's have a chill night versus like, no, it's the exact opposite. I should be leveling up at home and never chill, again, because of all the things we said. But I don't know, man. We just
I struggle with that, man. And I think every person in sales struggles with that because we can't. I don't have an off switch, and that's it's a blessing and a curse, and I'm working on it. But it is, the moment your kids say something to you and they call you out, like the other night, Rhodes is playing 2K. Now they're playing sports games on PS5, which is like great. So, yeah. He's the Magic every night. Now you realize Team USA is way cooler because you got Jordan on there. So he's playing and he's asking me questions. He's struggling with hitting threes. And he looks over, he goes, "You're on that silly phone again." And dude, if there were a lake, I would have tossed it in. It's like that moment where you're like, well, I'm on Slack. I'm just reading. It's like, what? None of this matters at 8 p.m. On a Monday night. Like, it can wait, and kids, man, I'll tell you what, they get me to think about the things I got to do a lot better, right? So
yeah, I always think I've got it. My youngest said, "Dad, I want you to play with me," and I'm just like, that will not always be said. I've got a few more years of that. I'm hoping he gets 50.
What are your ages? What are the ages?
I'm 4 and 6.
Yeah, so I'm 9 and 6, and the 9-year-old, it's getting to that point where, like, even when we go to Universal, it's like, "Oh, can I bring a friend?" Now it's not cool enough just to go with us now. It's like, I cannot bring a friend. And dude, those windows of time, like, look. Every year I land new clients and then I lose clients, right? Like I'm chasing this thing. You're just never there. But the one thing that I know for certain is I've only got a couple years with these kids. I got the rest of my life to chase logos, lose logos, right? Yeah. I got a couple years of this, and that's the most important job, as you know.
I love it. This is good. No one knows what day it is, but this is a Friday for us, and you've got a big vacation. So this is good mentality for both of us to go into the holiday weekend or the holidays. Yeah. Spoiler alert: I told you not to tell you what time of year it was, but this is a tough time for us. So, creativity-wise, one of my favorite things, and I literally tell people about this all the time. So hopefully your ears are burning often, but one of the coolest things I'll ever remember, like an activation is the best way to talk about it, not a campaign, is after COVID. And again, date me if I'm wrong here. I remember the campaign activation that you did. You sent every one of your clients boxing gloves. And then I believe they opened up a link or they had something that tied to it. I'll let you tell the story. Yeah. And after that, you opened it up and it was a little boxing game that they could play on their phone. And they said like, "Hey, COVID kicked our ass too, but can't wait to get back in the ring with you next year, and because we're fighters," or something along the lines. Tell me about how that came up. Tell me about that idea, and again, really the technology side of it, because again, like I said, we just never played around in that space too much, and I just thought it was the coolest campaign ever.
Man, I kind of forgot about that. I actually totally forgot about that. You brought that up.
I think about it on Wednesdays when I'm in the gym.
Dude, I love it. Play the Rocky theme music. So that year was just so hard for everyone, right? Like, we don't need to revisit that. It was brutal. And you just felt like you were on the defense the entire time, trying to figure out, how do I save my business? How do I save my employees? How do I save my clients? How save my building, warehouse, whatever that is. And we just, like, you know how it is. Sometimes you usually, like, we got to get on offense. We've been on defense, pinned up against his end zone the entire game is what it felt like. And we just said, like, hey, let's try and get people revigorated. I just kept seeing that old coach that Rocky had, and like, we're just trying to think like that old salty dude. And we were just trying to figure out, like, how do we encourage people? Like, let's all get back in the ring and let's get on offense for a little bit. And let's kick. And so we sent out the gloves, you're right. And they came in a custom box. And then they scanned a QR code and we built an AR game, all in augmented reality. And you had to, like, punch the punching bag and then it exploded. And then it would allow you to, like, access a Calendly link where we could, it was called the 2020 Knockout Challenge. And then we would just try to have 20 minutes. So the whole thing was just give us 20 minutes to talk about the challenges you're facing in your business, and let's see if we can help you. And man, we had a blast, man. And to be able to tie technology to merch, something that was measurable, it was a lot of fun. And that kind of opened the door to some other activations that we did. Using technology, AR, not your traditional pop-up shops, but using technology outside of just a merch store, but something to deliver an experience and then that we can measure, so. Yeah,
I was blown away. It really spoke to who you guys were. And that's really difficult because I think a lot of times when we were thinking about client gifting, end of year gifting, we try and make it about the client, which makes sense, right? Like, that's kind of the goal of us. Yours, not only it showed your capabilities and what you guys can do, and ideally, hopefully it made the clients think about what they can do with you, right?
Correct.
Like, it was just awesome. And yeah, I can kind of think about Mick in the corner, like, Brian, you got to send him the punching gloves, and then you're going to ring around their eye. Let's keep it on their back. You're a Hellraiser.
That's what I'm saying. What is his name? What was that character's name? Mickey?
Mick, right?
Yeah, Mick. Yeah. I mean,
he's got the big thing over there. Cut the eye, Mick, cut the eye, you know? Yeah. Absolutely great. Legendary movie. Less sexy, less fun. And one of the things that I really struggle with in your role, again, GM, salesman, you know, father of a son of a legend, walk me through, how are you a day planner? Are you a structure? Are you a time block guy? That doesn't seem to be where I think you're coming from. You're just letting it ride. How do you do it? And how do you figure it out on a daily basis?
Man, I don't know. I wish I was more structured. I would probably be more effective. I'm just not. I think I generally I know what I want to do each quarter. So I try to break it up and to give myself some grace to know that like things are, our world, like we're firefighters a lot of days. Like I try to be a merch maker and I wake up and I'm a firefighter. So it's, I try to give it longer chunks of time. Luckily, like we sold to Tom and the guys at Screen Embroidery back in February. So my world's gotten a little bit easy. I don't say easier, but it's changed, right? So I don't have to worry about payables and benefits packages and the things that I used to have to worry about running the company alongside my father, which has been nice. And it's given me more time for the first time in a long time to really think about just the team and sales and revenue generation. Anytime you're a leader, you still think about culture, you think about vision. I'm still thinking about the other areas of the business. But for the first time in a long time, it's really like I'm living in a sales world every day, which is where I'm happy. But it's I try to block an hour a day, but it's just an hour to do whatever I want. It's from 12 to 1. My wife wishes I would eat lunch. That's usually not what I do at that time. But it's just a whatever. I try not to book meetings anymore after 4:00. I used to I would just burn myself out. I had meetings from 8:30 and now I take my kids to school every morning. Like I don't have a meeting before 9 a.m. Whatever has to happen at 8:30 can happen at 9:15. And then I don't have meetings after 4. Like I don't want to be getting off the phone, at 6 p.m. if I don't have to. So I want to be able to end the day with a little bit of calm and less chaos, and then start the day with a little calm and less chaos. So
I've always thought that if I were to start my own gig down the line, whenever that opportunity could become available, I'd want to like do like a 4-day work week. Now, again, hang tight here. And I know that they just talked about this. I believe Asia, some country in Asia. I don't think it's China. I think that would.
Yeah, they just talked about this. They're going to 4 days.
They just implemented it.
Yeah.
So the thought process is this, and obviously, in that space, like you're up on weekends if the thing didn't deliver, right? But my thought process is this: hey, just heads up, we work Monday through Thursday because that's important to us, right? It's important to you. Ideally, what we would like to do is give our employees Fridays so that they're spending more time with their families, all the things that we discussed, and they're recharging and doing all that. Now, again, if there is an active project, right, something's supposed to arrive. If you need tracking, it's going on Friday, we've got to be on that, right? Yeah. But at the same time, is there a way? Do you think that's possible in your space? And in all seriousness,
I don't think so. I wish it was. We've thought about it.
Every time I get there, I'm like, no. And I'd be furious if something went wrong with my order or any other reason when I had the fire, and I'm like, oh, forgot I'm using XYZ company, right? And they put out fires on Fridays.
I don't know if, I hate to say this, I don't know, and I don't know if most people would say this, but I don't know if every client truly values what we do enough, or maybe they play. I mean, I don't know, man. I just think sometimes it's the end of the world for this team if the 10 polos don't show up. And it's not the 10 polos, it's the fact that they paid $50,000 to be at this event. And now the backup, the backdrop didn't show up. The pop-up banner didn't show up. The polos for the team didn't show up. It's not always the value of the product we're providing that's the problem. It's the fact that it lives at the intersection of some other massive cost or budget, right? And it's and I also think that they don't sometimes the clients don't value enough of what we do. Their answer is, well, I'll just call someone else. I know someone else that can print t-shirts. I know someone else that can embroider. You know what I mean? They get it down to like, I don't know, they'll just drive it down to commodities, right? And I don't think those are the relationships we have. I sure hope not. But I do think that, listen, if I don't answer, and I think that's the hard part about sales, you don't answer, someone else will.
Yep.
100%. And if I were to do it, if you told me, Kevin, if you said, Brian, we're starting a business and this is the only way we can do it, I would say we would be closed on Monday.
No. You heard it wrong. I said we'd be closed on Friday.
We would have to be closed.
We wouldn't get it open. You're right. Now it's sad, but it's true. And I think that's the tough part about, the industry that you're in, is it doesn't ever sleep. The promo never sleeps. It is accurate. All right. We are getting towards the end. So, and I know, and I love that you didn't look at these questions beforehand, but this one might take you a little bit of a while to think about. I always ask for people their senior quote, and it's not, anything that's necessarily industry specific. It could be family, it could be, but like, if there's one kind of thing that you're feeling right now, on this day, on this afternoon, as we're catching up, that you wish you could kind of throw out there in the world that might make people smile or think about things a little bit differently, what would be that kind of quote or that thought you would want to leave the audience with?
Be the person your kids think you are. I think that's on brand for what we discussed earlier. It's like our kids look at us, man, and you're Captain America, I'm Iron Man or Spider-Man one day. And it's like, when really, like, we're all flawed in it, and I think of like my goal is really to get closer and closer to the man that my kids think I am, and if I get close to that, dude, one day I did it. That's success. So.
Bravo, man. This one touched me. I really, really appreciate this. I know we talked more personal than promo, and that's the way I wanted it. That's why I wanted to have you on the pod. I don't even know what do they call this? Is this a video cast?
What are we? Yeah.
Hey, Brian, had the best trip. Enjoy Disney. Do everything we talked about. Those kids are lucky to have you. Your wife's lucky to have you, and I love you as a friend, brother.
Love you too, man. I appreciate it, bud. Keep doing what you're doing, man. We'll be in touch.
Take care.
See you, brother.